welcome to Comics Covered for the week of January 9th, 2019. This is episode 59. Or almost to 60 here. That's exciting, I guess. I don't know if that's more or less exciting than 50.
Is it? I mean, it is more. I feel like any number after 50 is better than 50, isn't it?
I mean, the numbers always go up, and that's good. It's something you can always rely on, is that numbers are always going to go up until they go down. I've trapped myself in this logic riddle that I've created. We got Comics Covered. We talk about comic books and the world around them, the industry, the movies, TV, games, all that stuff. We'll talk spoilers about the books that we talk about in a little bit here, but we'll warn you about that just before we start that. I'm Doug. I'm our resident comics veteran. Thank me for my service. Nope. And I'm here with a couple people who are somewhat newer to comics. In the broad scheme of things, we are over a year into doing the show, so it's starting to feel a little disingenuous. But anyways, they are a year and change behind me. No, a number of years behind me. I didn't start. Wait, I'm confusing myself. I'm here with Jack, and I'm also here with Samantha.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
We're doing all right. We were watching my dog growl at a humidifier.
Yeah.
So that was very entertaining.
It's pretty cool, actually. He's an interesting fella.
I can hear him. Yeah, he's making some jingly noises.
Yeah, he shakes sometimes. He's usually pretty silent though.
Okay.
I'm Jack also. Did you say your name?
He introduced me.
Oh wow.
I didn't have to say my name.
How proper you are. Well, I'm Jack, and I have a really special thing that happened to me this week. So last year, around the beginning of January, I was made aware that one of my closest friends didn't really care that it was my birthday. And this year, it happened again. And I thought it was really, really interesting because we talk all the time, but they just keep forgetting every single time. This year was on Thursday as opposed to Wednesday. Yeah, so that was interesting. Doug, what do you have?
It's pretty sad, isn't it?
It's really sad that you can't really have that kind of relationship with someone.
He doesn't even learn.
Doesn't learn at all. Doesn't put it in like a calendar appointment or anything.
Just in his phone.
And,
a reminder, nothing.
I've been having a pretty hard time, too, for reasons we won't go into. But, like, God,
and I think his fiance even knew, but not him.
Wow. Yeah, she texted me, literally.
Wow.
I mean...
Doug, you got anything to say about that?
I don't believe I know this person personally, he sounds like a real piece of work. I mean, he also sounds like he's maybe very handsome and intelligent, but also I think that like it's an understandable issue that one could encounter.
Oh yeah.
And I think we should give this gentleman the benefit of the doubt.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really funny because your fiance. Are we saying her name on this show, or is that a Social Security thing?
My fiance Leah. Yes.
Yay.
What about her?
So cute. She texted me on that day, and I told her like, "Yeah, don't tell Doug." You're
such a dick.
Whatever. You should know. She knew.
You can't egg this crap on and then give me crap about it.
Oh
no,
yes, I'm doing it right now. Of course I can.
Well, you physically can, but
I told her, don't tell Doug. He still hasn't done it. And she's like, I thought you were texting him while we were at lunch together. What were you talking about? I assumed he was doing that. It's so funny to me. God.
Yep.
No, it's okay. I'm not that torn up about it.
Uh-huh.
Part of the reason why I don't really think much of my birthday now is because you've never actually called me. I'm just kidding. It's too funny. But no, hey, if we're going to start talking about our weeks, I had a great week because, it was my birthday. That was fun.
Yeah.
And
a year closer to death. Happy birthday.
I mean, I feel like that doesn't really compute
The math doesn't check out? Is that what's the confusion here?
Because like my death isn't set. So how do I know?
No, but whenever it is, you are now a year closer to it.
But with each, like, I don't have a fate, so like, there is no definite time of death for me. You know what I mean? Like, but I can't say I'm a year closer.
If say Dr. Manhattan was looking at the timeline of your life,
at
this point in your life, you are a year closer to whatever will eventually fell you.
Well, what if I'm gonna be like? What if I'm like? I don't know, in the environment of tachyons, you know, isn't that the thing that blocks his perception? Like, what if I'm with Superman and he's about to punch him in the face or something like that, you know?
Well, what if I'm the Emperor of Space? What are we arguing about right now?
We're arguing about what ifs, because that's a big deal in comics, apparently.
Yep, what if?
How long is that, by the way, sorry, I just really need to know this. How long has that what if thing been happening, and why is that a thing?
It's just it's the same thing as like an Elseworlds thing at DC. It's just, I don't know. It's like them playing, well, specifically at Marvel, it's like, it's a thing that Marvel does where it's like, what if this storyline went a different way? And it's just, I don't know. It's a fun, like, you see how things could have turned out differently.
Have you read any, like, what if stories that are, like, amazing?
I don't think I've really consumed much of them, to be honest. I don't really recall any in particular that stood out to me.
Okay. Well,
all right.
What can you do? But one exciting thing that I did yesterday, I just want to go into, is I went to Magic Mountain.
Oh.
Which is a theme park.
Six Flags?
Six Flags theme park in California. I've never been there. I've been in California for 4 years now, and I haven't gone to like Disneyland or like any of these theme parks at all. So this is my first roller coaster in a long time. Every single ride is a DC hero, basically. So like there's a Batman ride, there's Riddler's Revenge, there's what is it? There is, what's another one? Oh, there's a ride called X2, but it is not about X2, X-Men United. There's I have a picture of the Hall of Justice. They have a whole, like, cool, like, you shoot, like, these guns and stuff, and you go through, and, like, the car, like, goes around and stuff like that. And you, shoot, like, this little story of escape. I don't know, they were trying to escape from Metropolis. Stuff like that. That was pretty cool. Pretty nausea-inducing. Speaking of nausea-inducing, what is it? There was this, on Riddler's Revenge, Samantha has gone to this place before, and she did not have a good time on Riddler's Revenge.
I'm back.
Whatsoever.
I actually classily barfed on that ride as it ended. Very classily.
As it ended?
Okay.
Like you got back?
No. So it was pulling back in where everyone's waiting to get on.
Oh, God.
And it happened. And everyone's mouth just flew open. And I'm like, yeah, you ready to get on this ride, guys?
Hey, it's very fun. You actually stand, it's like a roller coaster where you stand up and like it goes all around. It's pretty interesting.
So if you ever need to empty your stomach, just go on that.
Yeah. Doug, you picking up bulimia?
I mean, if I ever feel like it, I'll go on this ride.
Okay, cool.
This was the Riddler ride.
This was the Riddler ride.
Just kind of added to the.
Did you talk about that?
I didn't talk about the Green Lantern ride yet.
The Green Lantern ride, which has been
deemed
for a long time.
It's been deemed unsafe.
Oh no!
So it's like still built and everything. So it must have recently been deemed unsafe. I don't know what happened, but I don't know. Apparently, you went in these little lantern cars. You know the carnival ride, the Zipper?
Nope.
Okay, it's this like metal thing where you're in like one little contraption and it can flip on its own axis and it goes up and down and like this big thing where it's like a zipper. It's like going just around doing flips all over the place. So I guess me explaining it doesn't really give you more of an explanation as to what this ride is like, but it's like that. A bunch of flips and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah.
I think I'm looking at pictures of it. Are you in like a lantern thing?
Oh, you're looking at the Green Lantern? I have not seen the Green Lantern thing in motion.
I don't know. There are a number of Green Lantern coasters.
Oh, wow.
Because I think Six Flags has a some sort of licensing deal with DC.
Yeah.
But,
I did not
so
know
I don't know which one of these it is.
But I couldn't go on the Superman Escape from Krypton because it was closed.
Oh, no.
But I went on Lex Luthor's Drop of Doom, which is fucking terrifying. It's one of those that just brings you like 300 fucking feet up and then just drops you. It's fucking...
Yeah.
For me, Sam was saying I'm a wuss. But for me, that shit is the scariest. Like, I am fine with the actual drop, but like the going up part and the waiting there for like 30 seconds, feels like a minute.
That is scarier than any regular roller coaster, I think.
No,
I love roller coasters.
The fear of throwing up, you just go on any roller coaster and it will happen. The ones that are all flippy and everything. But this one, it just goes up and down.
But see, I feel
you know what's going to happen.
I feel like you are very, like, you get nauseous really easily, so you are highly aware of the fear of throwing up. I don't have the fear of throwing up.
Oh, well.
Do you, Doug?
I don't really throw up after roller coasters. I don't throw up very often.
He never throws up.
Have you ever thrown up?
I've definitely thrown up.
When's the last time you threw up?
Oh my god. I don't. It's been at least a year or something. I don't remember.
Okay. But
I generally also don't throw up from nausea, like from motion sickness.
Okay.
I don't know that I ever have.
Interesting. I don't know if I ever have. I remember when I was, we're getting on a heavy tangent about throw up, aren't we?
Yeah. Okay. Let's get off the...
It's a great story you're about to tell, but no.
I know.
Off the puke train right now.
I'll tell it another time.
I'll tell it on another episode. On episode 60. On the special throw up episode.
Something to look forward to.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. I won't talk about it. Don't worry, people. Okay. Doug, tell us about your week. What'd you do? What'd you do with your life when you weren't telling me happy birthday?
Well, I spent a lot of time thinking about how I definitely knew it was your birthday, and that I refused to give you the satisfaction of telling you happy birthday.
You know what's funny is I don't care really that much about my birthday or people saying happy birthday. I just like giving you shit for it.
Oh, I know. That is your lot in life, or I guess mine. I don't know.
Your cross to bear.
Yes, my cross to bear. I don't know. I had a fairly uneventful week. Nothing much to report. You want to talk about some news?
Yeah, I do want to talk about some news. Sounds good. Samantha, do you want to talk about some news?
Some moose?
Some moose?
I think
some moose?
Very happy to talk about some moose.
Okay.
I've got a cow here, and this cow, let me tell you, he's read some comics.
And he moos like a champ.
I played a cow in our spring, like my junior year of high school spring play. It was pretty great. I mooed. In any case.
Maybe Jack should be the mooer here.
Here we go.
Do you put that on your resume, professional cow?
On my acting resume, I did do that because I could theoretically get puppetry jobs. But I don't do that anymore.
Puppetry jobs?
Because I had this whole like paper mache thing on me and I had to be on stilts and stuff. So like, if you have experience doing stuff with like heavy costumes, it's like, kind of the same area in a way. But
why was the cow on stilts?
Because I was on all fours, right? So I had my legs for the back things, but my arms aren't as long as my legs because human biology.
I see.
So I had like, it was really difficult actually. And stilts. So yeah, so that was fun. So let's get on into some moves.
Okay. So we got a few things here. First off, we've got an announced series from Marvel. It's a new Thanos series. It is a limited series, so yeah, mini-series here. So we're getting a new Thanos #1. It's being written by Teenie Howard, whose work we have a little tiny bit of experience with. She co-wrote one of the issues of Marvel Knights.
I don't know which one it was. I think it was one of the recent ones. But
I don't either.
They didn't have it on this article, so I was like, bro.
No. Yeah. So not really familiar with this person other than that. And then we got artist Ariel Olivetti, who did all of the art in Death of the Inhumans. I really like the art on that series. Yeah. So I
was a big fan of that series art.
Good fit.
This should be fun. Yeah. I mean, they said it's about like his specific relationship with Gamora as they're growing up, and I think that's a really cool idea to delve into, like that sort of abusive relationship but like
that'll be really fun.
Not so abusive to like she's gonna learn like good lessons probably, but through fucked up manners.
Yeah, it's this interview they have on this CVR article I'm looking at right now talks about about maybe her confronting him on his madness, and like the idea of like he knows he's insane, but like he's so powerful that like what he's not going to do anything about it, you know? So yeah,
if you can do it, why not just do it?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, interesting. I am definitely down for more Thanos stuff. So
I'm super pumped.
Yeah.
I also wanted to talk about, because the March solicitations came out a few weeks ago. I used to do this whole big thing, but I just like talking about, some I look up, because I still look at them, because you've taught me so much. Samantha.
Yes.
Have you ever looked at solicitations? Do you know what solicitations are and stuff?
I look at them not as often as you do probably, but I enjoy looking at them. It gets me excited, gets me pumped for the coming
for anybody
series.
Anybody that doesn't know, solicitations are something that comic publishers put out to solicit their new titles that they're going to release in a few months. Usually it's like 3 months, right, Doug? 2 months?
It's 3 months.
3 months?
Yeah, it's 3 months ahead.
That's a thing? Okay. Well, I just saw a few that I think I'm really excited for. What is it? There's this one called Little Bird that is going to have... I don't know who the writer is. 1 second. I actually can get it. It's Darcy Van Polergeist.
Okay.
But the art is the main deal with this one. Ian Bertram, have you ever heard of him?
Nope.
Okay. So it's this super, detailed looking art. It almost looks... It's not anime inspired. I'm trying to think of a good animation style to look at it, but it's very detailed, but it doesn't look busy to me. I don't know. Do you see what I'm looking at here?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
The cover is also the artist. So if you look up a cover, I don't know. It looks really, really cool. The story is interesting too. It's about someone who is, a martyr against the oppressive American empire, and they search for her own identity in a world on fire. It seems like a post-apocalypse maybe kind of thing with an evil overseeing government. But I saw a preview. I thought of this, and I thought the art looked beautiful. So that was that. Oh yeah, here it is. Is that it? No, it's not. Or maybe it is.
Yeah,
I don't know. It looks really cool. My other thing is Spider-Man Life Story is going to be coming out in March, which by Chip Zdarsky, which we've talked about. Have you heard about this, Samantha?
No.
Doug, do you want to describe what that series is supposed to be like?
So it's basically a reimagining of Spider-Man's kind of whole experience in the Marvel Universe, but it starts in the 60s with his debut, and then in the story, time advances as it would in the real world, and so he gets older, everyone around him gets older, the times change, and the kind of events of the Marvel Universe around him are kind of rewritten as if they are happening through his life, and it sounds fascinating.
That sounds really interesting. All right.
Just because I know we've talked about the quote unquote sliding time scale of comics a lot on this show, and to have a series that legit says, okay, we're telling a story that is just the regular time scale. It's just gonna go. It just sounds so fascinating to me. And Chip Zdarsky has totally shown his colors. You haven't read Marvel 2-in-1 yet, but it's in your pile of things to read. So he's amazing. He's really, really fucking cool. And his sense of humor and how that pairs with his character development, abilities, I feel are going to show so well in this book.
Yeah. I looked up a preview of this Little Bird book and it looks cool.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
And then we also have Black Hammer 45. You remember that one? Mm-hmm. Black Hammer 45 coming out in March. I'm super excited for that. And there's a new book from Dark Horse by Magdalene Visaggio.
Oh, yes, I saw something about that.
Called Calamity Kate. She's basically, the protagonist is a monster hunter in LA, and she has a destructive lifestyle, is about all I got from
Oh, wait, this is not the one I saw. I think she also announced another book recently.
Oh, really?
But,
this one's coming out in March, though, from Dark Horse. I'm super excited to see what, more indie thing from her looks like, especially after her doing craziness in Young Animal with Eternity Girl. Oh, it's the same woman from Eternity Girl.
Yeah,
Samantha's like, oh, who's that? Yeah.
Yeah.
She read Eternity Girl, so.
I loved it.
Yeah, I think that I would be very interested in that. I love monster hunting.
Yeah, I thought that would be way up your alley, especially since you're just talking about wanting more Magdalene Visaggio stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Super pumped.
Good to know.
What is this last thing you have on here, Doug? I haven't looked at this.
You don't have to watch it if you're like trying to avoid trailers or whatever. I just think they put out this a quote special look at Captain Marvel. It's another trailer.
Okay.
I don't know what the distinction is here, but
I would think, are they talking
anyways,
about, a lot of times with those special look things, I feel like they like have some like director commentary be like, oh, we're not really?
It's not a behind the scenes thing at all. It's just a trailer. I don't understand what the
special look?
What
is it longer?
No, it's 1:30.
Oh.
I don't know.
You watched
it? Yeah, I watched it, and it's a much better trailer than the ones we've gotten previously. I don't know. It just sells me on Brie Larson quite a bit more.
Interesting. Like. That makes me kind of want to watch it, but I guess at the same time not. Yeah. I don't know. Does it give a lot away or no?
I don't think it gave really anything away that we didn't already kind of know.
Okay.
You know? Okay. I don't know. I don't think it gave me any new information that I didn't know. So,
interesting.
I don't know.
Well,
anyways,
did they? I'm sorry.
It looks good
because the big problem that I had with her was her like voiceover sounded very like I don't know how to describe it. Wooden is a good way to describe it. Like just not. I don't know. It didn't sound like it had any warmth with it. It just sounded like she was just talking.
Cold?
Yeah, kind of like. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't quite have a handle on like what her delivery for the character was as of yet in that first trailer.
This is better,
but I think this one sells kind of her personality quite a bit more, and I liked it.
Very nice.
So, if you're not averse to more trailers, I would recommend it.
Okay,
but yeah, it's not necessary. I mean, if you're going to see the movie anyways,
I mean, I'm going to.
But
by the way, speaking of movies, we didn't let we were probably going to see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse today. I'm super excited.
Ooh,
super excited.
I'm so excited.
Finally, it's been like out a month. I feel so bad.
I saw it a second time last week.
Oh, nice. Hey, look at you. Did you see it in 3D?
I wanted to, but there's no theaters around here still showing it in 3D anymore, I guess.
You gotta drive to the zoo, Doug. It's probably not.
I don't think
there.
They're doing it in 3D either.
Probably
they're probably showing something else at this point.
It's been a while. Anyway. Okay, well, I'm excited for that. I'll give my reports. We'll give our reports next week, probably.
Cool.
Doug, do you want to move on to weekly comics?
Cool. All right, so let's talk about our weekly comics. Samantha, do you want to tell people what we read from this list of our shared books?
Sure. So we read Die #2, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man #1, Justice League #15. It's been 15.
It's been 15. Wow. Yeah, we've read every single... Actually, you haven't read every single one, to be fair.
Right, I didn't read the bad
You read Drowned Earth. Some people like Drowned Earth. It's not
Scott Snyder. Sorry.
Or I guess, are all of these also ones that you read? I did not account for that when I was making the...
Yes, I read all of these except we both didn't read Outer Darkness.
Yes.
Yeah. We didn't receive it.
That's sad.
Okay, so Justice League #15, Martian Manhunter #2, Prodigy #2, and Green Lantern #3.
Yeah, the Green Lantern. Sorry,
#3.
Gotta say the.
Also, we also got Alone, but we didn't read them yet. Oblivion Song, and we all got... Oh, Venom? Shoot. We got Web of Venom Unleashed was the other one. And I think that's it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We didn't read them yet. Ooh. Oh, no, I read Web of Venom Unleashed. And it's whatever. There's stuff in there that I feel like might be plot stuff that gets followed up on. Carnage makes an appearance. So if he is a part of, the future of this thing, of this story, then I don't know if it's going to be a big deal. Who knows?
Do you think I'm going to be missing any information if I skip this one? Because I did not pick it up.
Yeah, I don't think so. Okay. I don't think so. It doesn't seem like it.
I read the other Web of Venom things, but this one was not being written by Donny Cates, so I skipped it, but
yeah, it's a lot of, it's like the whole thing is about the symbiote as a dog, and it's a bunch of gurring.
Okie doke.
And doggy stuff.
Lots of gurs. Doggy stuff.
It's kind of cool. Like I
feel like Donny Cates would write a really moving doggy story.
Well, I mean, he should write a whole story about bats.
Yeah.
He made that character.
He did write about bats.
So much.
Yeah.
If he could write a story about bats, it would be the most beautiful story ever written.
Like, imagine Bats as a ghost dog goes back to, like, the owners he had before he went to the vet. You know, like, and it was a sad reunion, and maybe they moved on or something like that to another doggy. But he's like, I'm still here. I can still be your friend. Like, Donny Cates.
Write to Donny and just be like, this is a great idea. This would give you a lot of people.
Yeah, just write to him and tell him the book he should write.
Yeah, we're tight. I'll text him.
Like snail mail. Like, no text, no tweets. No text? We should write a letter to him.
We gotta get good paper to write.
And good letterhead.
Be sure to seal it with like a wax seal.
Ooh, I like that. I've always wanted to do that. Like with like a little
wax seal, we can do that.
Like get a ring that has like a little insignia on it and then push it into the wax. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh God, that'd be so great.
Perfect.
Okay. What'd you read?
I also picked up Captain Marvel #1, Miles Morales Spider-Man #2, and Young Justice #1.
Oh yeah, I forgot you got that one too.
Yeah.
If everyone's gonna notice, we dropped Miles Morales just because there are 4 Spider-Man. 5?
There are many Spider-Man books. I figured I was gonna wait until I read Friendly Neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
To see if I was gonna drop which ones I was gonna drop. I'm not dropping Amazing.
Okay. Well, because it's amazing.
It is amazing.
Also, I'm thinking about getting and trying to catch up to Amazing because apparently this one's going to comment on some stuff, like events that are going on. It definitely is
intersecting with stuff that's going on in that.
Okay.
So we might want to do that.
Okay.
I think there's like a trade or 2 out already for Amazing, so it wouldn't
I don't recall what number they're on, but
they're on like 12 or 13 or something like that at this point. I know, it's a lot. Isn't it coming out twice monthly?
It is, I think, maybe? I don't recall.
Well, I couldn't tell you. I'm not reading it.
I can't remember when the last issue of it came out. There's one coming out in January, and then the next one does not come out until the following month. So,
it's probably here.
Seems like it's about once a month.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, I was thinking about doing that. So maybe we'll be on that soon. But are you gonna keep doing Miles Morales then after this?
I have not read this issue yet. That's like one of my 2 things I haven't read other than I didn't put Batman on here. I also picked up Batman. Those 2 books.
Mitch Gerrits did the art for this one.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Mitch Gerrits did the art, and it is a Professor Pig basically one shot, because the arc we're in right now is a bunch of little one shot stories. But
you want to read it? Wait, do you think we could read it without knowing anything?
Probably. I haven't read it yet, so I can't say for certain.
We'll
wait till you read it.
Like it's mostly, if it's anything like the last issue, it's probably mostly a one shot, but like that will like comment on the series as a whole if you like know what's going on.
By the way, how did we do like a whole year of those weird characters and Professor Pig never came up?
You know, like you played Arkham Knight, didn't you?
Yeah. Was he in?
He was in there.
Okay, I don't remember him. I wouldn't have remembered it at all. Wow. Okay, what?
There's a very good side mission about Professor Pig in Arkham Knight. You don't know who Professor Pig is?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Samantha,
Professor Pig is great. He was created by Grant Morrison on his run of Batman, and he is he wears a pig mask and a like kind of butcher's outfit, sort of. And his deal is that he is a surgeon, and he kidnaps people or children.
Okay.
I think it's children usually, and he basically lobotomizes them and performs like plastic surgery on them to make them into his Dolotrons.
What does that mean?
They are a thing he makes, which is basically he makes them into weird zombie slaves.
Are they pigs?
With like they're weird, creepy, baby-looking people.
Cool.
They're not pigs.
why is he a pig then? Why does he wear a pig mask?
I was just thinking about this the other day because I love Professor Pig, but it all seems like a bunch of random ideas thrown together. But I came to the conclusion that it's this idea that he is a butcher who creates livestock out of people.
Okay.
So he is a pig.
I mean,
that's not what a pig is, but I mean, like, he is a livestock / butchery themed character, and so that kind of fits with the idea of like a livestock animal.
Interesting.
Anyways, he's great.
So I guess clergyman cow doesn't roll off the tongue as much.
Clergyman cow?
Yeah.
Why is he a clergyman?
Because that's like another, like, there's a professor, there's a clergyman, I don't know.
It's another profession he could have been?
Yeah, I mean, it's an alliteration with C. Clergyman cow. I'm going to make it on my run of Batman. You're going to love it.
Uh-huh. Milkman Man.
Yeah, there's Milkman.
All right.
Man.
Okay.
Okay.
Man. Cool. So let's talk about the damn books.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
So,
I have one question. Can you explain what Young Justice is?
Oh, yeah.
So Young Justice...
There are people out there that would be so mad that you don't know what Young Justice is.
Hey, I'm so new.
No. We're not mad that you don't know what Young Justice is.
But I'm so new and I want to know. That way I won't have to ask again.
There's a big fan base for Young Justice.
Okay. Specifically because there is a cartoon that is just got a new season on... they moved to DC's streaming service, but they were on some network. I don't remember what. But anyways, yeah, so it is basically a like Teen Titans like kind of thing where it's basically a bunch of kid / teen superheroes and sidekicks of superheroes who are a team. That's basically the idea. It's this like Young Justice revolves around specifically like Tim Drake and Bart Allen, who is a one of the Kid Flash characters.
Not Wally West.
One of the Superboys, one of the Wonder Girls.
Okay.
Yeah. They introduce a bunch of new characters to the team in this, and it's kind of them reforming. It was very fun.
I was talking to my coworker.
Yeah, it's a teen. It is a teen.
I was talking to my coworker on Thursday or something like that, and he was telling me that because I watched the Young Justice animated series. I watched the first season. Mm-hmm. I think episodes here and there, and I just wasn't that into it. He was telling me, it really gets good to the second season, and that's really what's relevant to the third season that's coming out now. And I was like, they're only 20-minute episodes. I feel like I should just give it a chance again and just start with the second season. I don't know. Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah, I've been wanting to go back and watch more of that show as well. I watched the first few episodes, and it didn't really grab me, but I know a lot of people really like it. I don't know.
Maybe we can start like a little...
Also, a lot of people really like The Flash, and I don't think that's good.
Yeah.
But...
Arrow's apparently good.
I don't know.
And I'm really interested in these CW shows now that they're doing... Samantha, I don't know if you knew this. CW has a bunch of DC shows like Supergirl, Flash, Green Arrow. They're...
I like that Arrows character.
They're building towards this huge thing that they're going to do, Crisis on Infinite Earths. So they're doing it in TV, and I want to do it so badly, but it's not going to hit as hard.
I know.
I know.
But I'm sure it's good. People like it a lot, and I'm sure they'll maybe... I don't know. It's just tough, because also the effects they have on that show are just... Like, I get that they can't have a big budget, but it really shows. Am I wrong?
I feel like Crisis
Did I ever send you the picture?
To be good.
Yeah, Crisis, definitely needs a big budget, for sure.
We're getting very sidetracked again, but I need to send you a picture later of there was a promo image they put out for their Elseworlds event that they did, which was this year's like big crossover thing. It is of like Barry Allen and Arrow and I think Supergirl or something on meeting on a rooftop in Gotham, and like where the bat signal is, and it's the design of this roof makes no sense at all in this way that's just baffling.
Oh God.
It's very
funny. Can you please post that on Twitter as well? Because I want everybody to see this. What can I see it too? Send it to me today.
I will see if I can find a picture of it and send it to you later. We don't need that. This is an audio format, but
the picture is green. I was kidding.
Yes. All right. Let's talk. Jack, you want to warn people about spoilers?
That's it.
All right. With that sound that we make every week, that is the spoiler sound.
No, it's the one we do every week.
Oh, okay.
It's the exact same one that we've always done. No difference. Just like it. Let's talk about specifics about some of these books. I specifically want to talk the most about the one that you also seem to have put first, but I don't know if that was just because I was excited about it or not.
I didn't put that first. I think you moved that.
I did not at all. I didn't put anything except Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. So you definitely put it first.
Interesting. I read Green Lantern number 3 first, and I remember writing that first. I don't remember putting that Die 2 first.
Well, you did do it. So, anyways.
Did you write this stuff in the particular focus?
I wrote the particular focus, but I did not move anything around.
Interesting. I'll bet it was the Gremlins.
Okay. Well, I really want to talk about Die number 2.
Do it.
So, this is a series by Kieran Gillen and Stephanie Hans. First issue was last month. It is a self-described goth Jumanji.
What?
Which is a very silly sounding. That is what Kieran Gillen sells this book as. That is what he describes it as. Anyways. It's like a goth/metal inspired story about people getting sucked into a board game.
Would you say this is cyberpunk?
Anyways, there are cyberpunk elements, but no, it is not a cyberpunk. Like, specifically, there is a cyberpunk character, but that's purposefully out of place. This is more of a dark fantasy thing, I would say. So, in this book, a bunch of kids, or in the past, a bunch of kids, basically got sucked into a tabletop role-playing game that their friend introduced them to, and they emerge like sometime later. They've been missing, and they've lost their friend who introduced the game to them, and they're all traumatized, and they won't talk about what happened in there. And so then we fast forward like 30 years, and it's about them kind of receiving this message that like brings them all back together. They swore they'd never like touch the game again, and they do because they got some sort of signal from their missing friend. And they all get sucked back into the game, and so this issue is it turns out their friend at the end of the first issue is kind of now become the Grandmaster, and he's controlling this like RPG land. So it's very inspired by pen and paper RPG stuff, like a D&D kind of thing. But so this issue is the first issue that we kind of really get a whole bit of story in the fantasy land of the RPG, and kind of we learn kind of what the nature of, mostly about their characters, a little bit about the world, not much, but like mostly kind of about like who they are in this world. As their RPG characters, and the ways in which that, I was really blown away by the amount of like inventiveness in terms of the fantasy that we're playing with here, and these people's abilities and stuff. Like, there's some really fascinating ideas here in terms of how it's going to play on these characters and their emotional states, and I thought this was a big step up from the first issue, and I really liked that first issue, but like something about this, like in selling like kind of what probably most of the rest of this series is going to be like, I was very, very impressed.
I think the way that it's like crafted, like the way that their characters, like that it's crafted, like how their characters are going to interact with each other, and how like, I don't know, it represents what they are like in general in the group, maybe. Yes. Like, it's really, really fucking cool. And honestly, it's a lot about the art too for me. Yes. Like, I don't know.
The art is gorgeous.
Absolutely. Like, I just love that sort of aesthetic that they have. like that sort of kind of gothy, but not like super gothy. It's still like kind of colorful and stuff like that. I don't know. Also, I was wondering, because we were talking about the characters, did you read the whole thing at the back?
No, I didn't.
You really need to, because if you're into how the characters all work with each other, or he goes into everything about what the craft behind these characters are like. It's pretty awesome. He goes one by one, says why this character has this die, why this character has this die, what they represent, what they can do, what they can't do.
That's cool. Yeah.
Super necessary reading for anybody reading this. If you haven't read the back, read it. It's a lot. It's a while. It's a lot of stuff.
No, it only took me like 4 minutes. It's not a big to do. It looks a lot.
It took me a while at least. It took me about as long as you were taking to read another issue.
Oh.
I don't know. I think it's a lot.
No, I'm definitely interested in this. I totally missed it. I didn't see it was there.
It's all written by Kieran Gillen, too.
I'm so fascinated in, like, one of the coolest things about, I think, this book, and I mean, like, I think it works totally 100% on its own as a comic, but Kieran Gillen is also developing in tangent with this an actual tabletop pen and paper RPG that is like set in this world. And part of what's fascinating about it is it mirrors this kind of structure in that I was reading, I posted a link next to the link you posted about Die, that kind of outlines kind of what you do in the game, in which you create both an in-game fantasy persona and the, like, quote unquote real world version of your character. So you play like the characters in the story, both levels of that. You are playing as someone playing the game. And so you create a character that is like like in the story, that has like powers and abilities and whatever stuff, like motivated by your first level character, your real world character. And I think that's so fascinating.
That's crazy. I'm super pumped to do that. That's gonna be great.
I definitely want to try to actually play that game at some point. I have been trying to like figure out I do tabletop stuff, and I've been trying to get together something that I can run myself for a while. I don't think this would necessarily be the first thing I would run. I don't know how new GM friendly it would be, but I definitely want to play that game at some point. But this issue really made me interested because like the mechanics and like the ideas around these people's powers, the fucking Grief Knight.
Yeah.
And how there's
it's great.
It's so good. So there's a character, I don't remember what his name is. His name is Matt. And they've hinted, like very depressed as a kid. And he, in this story, in the fantasy land, is a Grief Knight. That is his class, his character class. And so, his sword and his powers are charged by his sadness, by his grief. But so the leader of the party, Ash, is like telling him like, you have to fight, you have to power up your sword. And he's like, I can't, I don't feel like that anymore. Like I worked through a lot of my problems, and I'm I mean, he doesn't say this all directly, but it's heavily implied that, like he worked through a lot of his depression, or he's like dealing with it better now. But she forces him to kind of relive like that part of him that he doesn't want to connect with anymore.
Some sort of spell thing that she casts, right?
Yeah, her character class can control other people's emotions.
Yeah.
As the dictator, which is fucking great.
Just wait till you read that back shit. It gets so much better.
And it's just
the
like
part with her lover was so cool.
Oh yeah, that's great too.
Yeah,
I love it. But
this idea, playing with the idea of her like being able to dictate people's emotions and how fucked up that is. It's really great.
It's insane. Yeah, Grief Knight is great. In the back, they describe how there are other knights who use different emotions.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, this was in the book too?
They talk about it in the article that I that I linked to, about how in the actual game you can be a knight of other emotion, different emotion knight. You can be a joy knight, or I think there's like a loyalty night or something like that. I don't remember, but
in
there's
the
a
back
bunch
of
of
this, in the back of the issue, when she was talking about like the joy or happy night or whatever, they were saying they're the worst people.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's a person who is going to like need to find like joy in every moment of their life.
Especially when they're doing violent things with their swords.
Oh, yeah, fuck yeah. This is a person who would have to kind of by their nature find joy in violence in a way that most
people like the comedian kind of.
Yeah, a little bit.
From Watchmen.
But yeah, it's just like really inventive, cool, but also fucked up like abilities and like fantasy ideas. And
there's so much care put into like what they mean. Like seriously, I'm so excited for you to just read how much there is. I'm sure there's also stuff in this article, but there's so much care put into like it all making sense with like the emotional so much time to plan the emotional journeys of these people. I'm so excited to be along for the ride.
Yeah. I am very excited. I think this book is really turning out to be something very special. I'm glad to be reading a Kieran Gillen book as well, because I've heard for a long time that he's a really good writer, but I have never tried any of his stuff. So.
Interesting. The other article that I posted, did you skim it at all?
I didn't have time to like read anything more than kind of
the general idea,
general skim. And
so there's a character in this that has, I'm not saying this for other people. There's a character in this that, had a cybernetic arm in the first time that they were kidnapped into this game. And then when she came back to the real world, she didn't have an arm.
Yeah.
Shit. And so apparently Kieran Gillen hired a sensitivity consultant to make sure that what they were having her do, how they were having her react, and like just how they were drawing her wasn't offensive to people who of that sort of disability who have lost an arm or something like that, which is interesting. And I was wondering if that was like something that anyone has done in comics.
Well, he wrote that people should do that, and he put her name as for other writers to use her, since this is going to be probably a newer thing. Since
maybe, I mean, that's interesting because like this woman also has no arm, and she's specifically like equipped to consult on that specific thing. So I wonder if she's like a sensitivity consultant for other things like that. You know what I mean?
She might be.
Is that okay?
I'm not sure how common something like that is, but I definitely know that I've heard of things specifically in comics. I know it is a thing that I have heard of in other media, that it like is a thing that people are becoming more like that sensitivity to that kind of stuff, and having someone consult on that is becoming more common.
But I'm just really excited because I think it's something cool to be aware of while you're seeing like that character and how she reacts to like having an arm again or something like that. Because I think that's going to be a big part of it. But yeah, that was just something I wanted to say about that book. I'm really excited. Really excited.
Yeah. So I'm glad to hear that you really like that book, because I know you liked the first issue. But like, I don't know because we didn't talk about it on the show because you hadn't read it at the time, I don't think.
Yeah. Neither of us were really into like the whole idea because
I know you were very skeptical going into it.
We read this part of the series that we didn't like. That was very D&D like style humor, and I think it kind of made us a little bit wary of that. We read Rat Queens. Have you ever heard of that?
I have.
Did you like it?
I have not read it, but I have heard of it.
Didn't you just say I have? I swear I heard it.
You said it. Have you heard of it? And I said I have.
Sorry, that was my bad. No, it's like I can see that the craft is good, and I can see how it would be good for some people. I just was not jiving with the kind of humor that it was there, and it seemed very
I don't think we understood it. We're not like introduced into that world enough to really understand it.
I don't know. I feel like I felt like I understood it. I just felt like I didn't like it.
Well, no, I mean, if we were more introduced into that world, we would like it more. I feel like we're just it's so foreign to us.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably primed at people who play D&D or RPGs.
Yeah.
I'm sure like you could still, there are still people who don't, who could enjoy it, but it's probably more targeted at those people.
It definitely is.
As Makes people sense. Who haven't played any tabletop RPGs yet, you guys are finding this like parsable, like the stuff that's very referential.
I don't find this that like, I don't know, because a lot of I don't know.
Well, I thought this issue did a much better job. I don't know, like making it more general and easier to understand.
Well, I think because the first issue was a lot about setting up the game and like giving people different numbered side die and telling them their class and stuff like that, which is the part that probably we wouldn't be as, you know,
well, because I mean, that was the part that was dealing with the mechanics of the game. Whereas in this fantasy world, all of the mechanics are like literally realized in a way that like I mean, like, this is a very meta thing. I'm sure at some point they'll be rolling dice, but...
oh, they're definitely going to be rolling dice.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they're on a giant 20-sided die. That is what this world is. But like, they're not going to be dealing directly with the mechanics of the game. Although there is a bit of commentary in this on, like, different classes and NPCs and like, very RPG stuff.
But see, when I hear like NPC and all the different classes, I also think of video games.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
And
because,
I think that you definitely can bring some of that knowledge into this to help you. It is like slightly different, but like there is like I think that is definitely an in you could have.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I think it's really, really just a great, really well crafted story. I think this issue was a step up, even while I loved the first issue too, and. The first issue, one of the other reasons why I think this is a step up from it is that I think this art style works particularly well in the fantasy world.
Oh, yes.
When we got in the fantasy world in the last issue for like the last 2 pages, I was like, holy shit.
Yes. Like
this is amazing.
It's amazing looking.
Yeah. So I'm super excited. Yeah, it's definitely one of the more like exciting ones coming out, and I was really, really happy that this one kept it up for sure.
Yeah.
But do you want to move on into talking about, because my favorite actually this week might have been, well, I don't know about my favorite. It was my favorite.
It was really cool.
The Green Lantern number 3. I think it shows that the series is getting better and better each issue.
For sure.
This art in this one was like, it wasn't busy in the way that the last couple were. It was like, it felt vast. Like there's a specific panel where okay, let me set this up. So the Earth because it's a Grant Morrison book, you need to set it up. The Earth has been shrunk and stolen to be auctioned off to different cosmic creatures in the world.
In a giant slave auction. Yes. They're auctioning off the Earth into slavery. It is
amazing.
It is ridiculous.
It is. But it is just a basic, this whole issue is just a basic cop stakeout and then ambush. You know what I mean? That's basically all it is. It's great. So like the Green Lanterns are like waiting by to like ambush this huge slave auction that's going down. And when they do it, you know, we see already that the Earth has been auctioned off to this man that looks like just what God would be.
Wizardy with the long white beard.
I mean, I just think he looks like what God is drawn as. He's the, you know, that's what God looks like basically to anybody. You know, you show a picture of that guy in there,
they would say like a wizard.
They
very specifically say at some point that he looks like, he says, and looking like Zeus or the Old Testament God worked a lot in the shepherd's favor. He's definitely supposed to look like God. Especially the idea of the shepherd and all that.
The shepherd, for sure. But we learned that he's like bought the Earth, and it was crazy how he really wanted the Earth. He was like, 10,000 billion whatevers. So my favorite panel is when the Green Lanterns have ambushed, and like there's this huge thing where the God guy is in his menagerie of planets, and he's like,
yes.
Like it looks like he's putting one like Earth on the next, like as an ornament on a tree or something like that. He's like picking it up and putting it there, and then there's a little Hal Jordan in the corner saying, "Hey, stop right there."
He says, "Hold it right there" to this giant God. It's so ridiculous.
It's on top of it being a beautiful page, like absolutely. I can't even get over it.
Yes.
Liam Sharp just jack me off always. I think it's hilarious, just a hilarious image to see this little dude, like, just like, hold her, like, it's just, It sounds like
Hal Jordan as the like straight man role in this, as the cop, the like badass cop in this series, is sometimes so hilarious, and I really enjoy it. Yeah, him standing off. It's it's specifically like this is very much mirrors kind of the vibe of the cover.
Oh yeah, totally.
Which is I fucking love, which is a giant image of this god, this very like Judeo-Christian looking god figure who's giant, and Hal Jordan very small in the foreground yelling, "You're under arrest!" And it says "Cop versus God."
Oh my god, it's just it's just amazing book. And then like later when we find out that he's like basically drugging them and drugging the earth and giving them superpowers so they're happy and like gonna get fat, basically. The interactions between Hal Jordan as the straight man and the earth.
It's incredible.
Oh my god, just like, he's like, this guy actually looks like this, and there's just this like...
They're like, we don't discriminate.
Based on
looks.
We were kind of past judging people
like,
for how they look.
Kidding me?
But I just love I just love him, like... he says, "Let me get this straight. You'd seriously sacrifice the lives of your great-grandchildren for short-term gain." And, and they say, there's a word bubble with 3 different, like, lines coming off of it, coming from the earth, implying that everyone on earth is yelling back at him.
Yeah.
They yell, "Those are your words. Look, we have superpowers."
Yes. "Look, we have superpowers" is one of my favorite lines in this book. Look, we have superpowers. It's great. Oh my god. And also, like, I give a lot of crap for heavy-handed things about the environment and stuff, and this is definitely something about that has air of that, but it's not heavy-handed. But it's super well done, I think, in a way.
I'm just so glad that this turned out the way it did, because based on the first issue, I was really worried.
Yes,
because it was really
I agree.
Busy, it was too much, and then I'm really happy it turned into this.
Yeah,
I think that you were really thrown into it in that first issue in a way that was very off-putting to me at first, but like as the series has gone on and it's become this kind of more, and I don't like saying this, but I think it is purposeful and actually to the book's benefit that it is becoming more formulaic. It's leaning into the tropes of cop fiction, of police fiction.
Because it's good because that's what you can hold on to. And then Grant Morrison can do these crazy cool concepts
around
but still grounded in this formulaic cop procedural. Yeah, exactly.
And like the contrast between this very straightforward feeling, police procedural thing where they're on a stakeout and then they have to wait until the deal actually goes through and all that stuff. Stuff that you recognize. Yeah. But the thing that they're staking out is like a planetary slave auction with all these like intergalactic gods and stuff, and the contrast between those things is funny and so unique, and I absolutely loved this issue, definitely way more than either of the previous issues. And if this is what the series is going to be like going forward, I am so on board.
Yeah, even like, what is it? I just forgot what I was going to say. I'll say my other thing. The ending is also like just, it's run of the mill. It makes sense. But I was wondering what you thought of it. The ending is when we see, they have the main guy who's setting up the slave auction, and Hal Jordan sees that he has kidnapped bunch of children from different universes, but the poisoning that they've had has aged them like hundreds of years to where they're in absolute agony and torture. And Hal Jordan just kind of kills the guy.
And he's like, it was out of self-defense.
Because that's like what they do in cop shows. Like, what do you think about that as a person who has more experience with Hal Jordan? Because I thought that might be a point where people did not like it.
I have conflicting feelings on it, because yes, it is definitely a major trope of old, like specifically like 80s cop stuff. This idea of the righteous killing and that everyone's just going to cover it up because it was the right thing to do. But something about this happening in a book today is a little concerning. Mm-hmm. Yes, context is important here. This man was literally an intergalactic slaver, but the idea
also,
of...
He basically resigned all these kids to death and was happy about it.
Yeah. I'm not saying this person deserved to live, but I hope that they at least... that Grant Morrison at least addresses the idea of the police, like, with undue process, killing someone and then covering it up.
Like, I'm sure that's where this is going, though. It's a big deal. It's made to be a big deal. It's not going to just get brushed under the rug, is it?
Like, is Hal Jordan... I know this is... Again, this person is, like, to a ridiculous, almost comedic degree, a villain. But, like... I'm wondering if this is sending Hal Jordan into an almost, like, dirty cop direction. You know? Yeah. Like, what if this is the slippery slope that he starts on? Like, this one is just, but, like, how far will he go? You know? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's something that we're probably going to see. Like, he's new to this still. Maybe doesn't have as much control over his emotions yet.
He's not new to this.
Well, he's like, not new to this, but he's coming back from a long break, seemingly, right?
No, he's been around. Like, he wasn't, like, returning to being a Green Lantern at the beginning of the story.
I thought he was.
Not really.
I thought they said they depowered his ring, and they found that dude, then he went back, and they were like, oh, we're glad you're back. We want you to do this shit.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Hal Jordan's been around in one way or another for a while. I mean, he might not have been officially... No, because he's had a book called... Goddamn Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps for like 5 years or something now. So I don't know.
Who knows? But whatever. The other thing I wanted to say about this book is that we got a appearance by Steppenwolf of Apocalypse, which I did not expect, and I'm really glad because he was the villain in Justice League movie.
Okay.
And I'd never heard of him before, but like
no one else had either.
Yeah. But he showed up. He was like, hey, I want to do this for Apocalypse for Desaad or whatever and all this shit. And I was like, oh, I know you. You're cool. You're not that cool, but whatever.
Yeah.
This book is bonkers. It's wonderful.
It's great.
It's
great. Yeah. I was very much a fan of the direction this book is going after this issue. Cool. Yeah. And Samantha, you also liked this a lot more than the previous ones.
Yeah, I like this a lot more. I thought the humor was really great, and the cop tropes, like you were saying, it just worked so much better. The art was more... It was less busy. It was more vast.
Yeah, it was more restrained in some ways.
Yeah, and it was easier to see, like, just to understand what was going on, rather than just, oh my god, what is all this? So it was just...
For sure.
It was a really well done issue, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There's something to that. There must be something purposeful because it has been a transition, both in the writing,
transition from the first one to the second, even.
Yeah, like through these first 3 issues, both in the writing and the art. Mm-hmm. This idea of like throwing you into absolute chaos and slowly paring it back until we're in this like cop drama thing.
Yeah,
I'm not entirely sure I understand what the motivation would be from a creative standpoint there, like what that's supposed to do, but like. Somehow it's working. I don't know.
It's working.
Maybe that's just what Grant Morrison does. You don't know how he works, but he just works.
It just works. I don't know. Yeah.
Doug, I want to talk about something a little more, a much different story now.
Okay.
That was also really, really great and a really cool first issue. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The 500th Spider-Man book to come out this year.
I was very surprised by this. I didn't think I was going to like it, to be honest.
Well, I mean, it's just, seemingly to me, when I read about it at first, and I wasn't really aware of Tom Taylor, I was just like, okay, why are they doing this? This doesn't make any sense. They have like 4, they have Miles Morales, they have Amazing, they have Superior now starting, they had Spectacular, though I think this is taking the place of Spectacular is what I heard.
Spectacular ended.
Okay. And then they have a whole host of other Spider-Man things that are like in Elseworld things, and it's just crazy to have another one about Peter Parker
Yeah.
The second one, I mean, I guess the big character in this seems like to be sort of the Action Comics, Detective Comics equivalent to like their Amazing Spider-Man thing. But goddamn, this book is great. Yeah. It's
like, really fun.
Tom Taylor is such a good writer that I had no idea of before, like, I don't know, months ago.
Who was the writer that of the Spider-Man things that I'm currently reading?
Well, we dropped Miles Morales.
No.
Or is she reading the Dan Slott
Dan
stuff?
Slott. She's writing the Dan Slott stuff.
Yeah, so when I read this issue, it reminded me a lot of Dan Slott's writing.
That's interesting for Doug, because he doesn't really like Dan Slott's writing.
Oh. I mean, I thought this was a lot of, like, very similar to Dan Slott's writing.
I find Dan Slott's writing to be a little, I don't know, his sense of humor to be a little hokey for me, but I definitely
this was
did
not as hokey as the other stuff, for sure.
Yeah. But anyways, I very much like Tom Taylor's sense of humor, whatever the difference is, I have no idea. But, or if they are similar. But, I know I like Tom Taylor's writing and sense of humor. I think it really fits with a Spider-Man book.
Yeah. Like this girl, I'm just looking at this girl, like, he saves this little girl from this car crash, and she squishes his spider on his chest.
Yeah. Yes, it's like, so good. That was one of my favorite things.
Like, I'm gonna squish you.
It's so, like, it's just so simple, but it's so great. And then right after that, we get a situation where, that I've never thought of, someone offering money to Spider-Man and him just being like,
Yes.
But he handled it well.
Yeah.
He handled it as Spider-Man should handle it.
Yeah, he told them to go give it to some homeless people that he like knows personally because he's fucking Spider-Man and he's Peter Parker and he like is super involved like in his community and like trying to like better his community.
Yeah. Well, also apparently those like 3 people are going to be bigger parts of the story. I was reading a little bit in the back. I don't know if you read the stuff in the back.
No.
I think, or no, was there stuff in the back in this one? Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Nick Spencer actually wrote this.
What?
And Nick Spencer wrote this whole thing in the back of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I think it says Nick at the end. I think it's Nick Spencer.
Oh, it does. Yes. I'm not 100% sure if it's Nick Spencer. It definitely could be because he's writing Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, but I'm super excited because it says that he's expanding like this sort of neighborhood universe. Like, so I think we're going to be focusing on like people like, what is it? The homeless people, like his neighbors and stuff like that. So I think it's such a cool thing to do. It sounds exactly one of the things like boiling Spider-Man down to like, where does friendly neighborhood come from? You know, where does that word come from? I don't know. It's really cool.
Yeah, Did you read the story at the end, Doug?
I did, and it is very sad.
It's so well written, though. I love it.
Yeah. It's really, really, I don't know. It's really sad, though.
So spoilers for this book, let's just say it. The backup story in this reveals that Aunt May has been keeping from Peter that she has been diagnosed with cancer. Which is very sad.
Yeah.
I think they're sorry, if you want to say something about that, ahead. Keep going. I was going to go back to the regular story, so if you got something about the backup.
No, I want to say in relation, like, the story in relation to the Aunt May story, I think it really ties it into Friendly Neighborhood as, like, this is his world, this isn't Spider-Man's world, this is his community and his family, and so I think it was a great addition.
Well, I think the way it ties in is that he's so... You know, we had this whole issue of him going around his neighborhood and talking to his neighbor and everything like that. And, you know, being very into people around him and helping them. But the person that he's closest to
won't let him help.
Exactly. Is keeping the secret from him. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think that's a way that it really, really works with it. And I'm just really excited. I hope they do more of these backup stories, which is more May focused, maybe on her experience and maybe Spider-Man as a sort of trying to figure out what's going on, a mystery sort of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm curious if they're going to continue the May stuff in backups or if it's going to be about other characters or what it'll be. But I definitely thought it added something interesting in focusing on one of the side characters there. Yeah.
Also, Spider-Man and Mary Jane are so cute together.
They're very
cute. Oh, yeah. I thought that was great that he Wait, that was this issue, right? Where they did that was in the backup, yeah, where he put her in she wore a Spider-Man costume so that they could swing around and no one would know it was her. Yeah. And that's great. I think there is something to, you compared it to kind of Superman in Action Comics.
Yeah.
There is something to this idea that, this book is the more kind of, it's almost more Peter Parker focused in a lot of ways. Yeah. It's smaller. It's more about kind of the dynamic of him being both Peter Parker and Spider-Man. And it's just kind of a little bit more ground level, and about like him and the immediate people around him rather than big superhero action.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely a space for this book. And it was a great debut, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see where this whole kidnapping woman goes and how
the two babies.
Why?
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about the weird alien babies or whatever they are.
Well, also the fact that he was like totally expecting this punch, and I love the way that was written. Like he talks about, he comes into this room and all these dudes in like suits and hats are surrounding this neighbor that he just met, and he's like trying to like, laugh it off, talk it up. And he says, my Spider-Man goes and he says, I know this punch is coming. Mm-hmm. He says, okay, I'll roll with it. Cause he's thinking these are just like random goons, but then he just blacks out. I fucking love how that scene is done. Like, it makes me so excited to see the rest of the series because I think there's so many little moments in here. Not even just little moments. Yes. Just the whole issue is just...
I also love the concept of the apples, how she kept saying, like, bring an apple. So he was probably thinking, like, this neighbor, this woman is obsessed with apples. Why am I doing that? And then you see at the end, like, no, these kids, these alien babies, like the apples. Did you not see that?
I forgot about that. I didn't see that. Apples? Wait, no.
Apples?
No, he's just offering them apples.
Yeah, but I think that's why.
Does the neighbor say bring an apple?
No, the woman says to bring an apple, but I think the reason for the apples in general is for these alien babies.
I don't...
Yeah,
no,
maybe that's what they eat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
We don't really know for sure, but I feel like that could be the implication given, I mean, if they continue on that in the next issue.
Yeah.
Okay, but, possibly.
It's possible. I think that's a good guess.
I love apples.
I love hungry for apples.
Hungry for apples.
But yeah, specifically the stuff that's tying into the Amazing Spider-Man book is the Boomerang stuff. His roommate.
Oh yeah,
he's so funny.
Yeah,
yeah. So one of his and Robbie's roommates. His and Robbie's roommate is secretly a supervillain named Boomerang.
Well, like a small-time villain, right?
Yes, he's a very small-time villain. He is theoretically reformed, and I think they openly know about it.
Yeah,
I don't remember, but anyways.
Oh, they openly? It's not a secret?
Maybe, I can't recall. I'm getting it mixed up because maybe just Spider-Man knows him and knows he's reformed. Maybe Peter's not supposed to know. I'm not sure.
Interesting. Now, Boomerang, I got really confused on my DC Marvel because there's a Captain Boomerang.
There is a Captain Boomerang.
And we read a lot about Captain Boomerang in Identity Crisis, I believe it was.
Yes. This is it's similar in a number of ways, but like, I don't know, kind of different character. This guy's just more of a like young jackass, like who's like very overconfident.
Okay.
Whereas Boomerang is much more of just like a, I don't know, irredeemable, like, I'm just saying different words, synonyms for them being dickbags. I don't know. I guess I don't really know how different they all are, but Boomerang, this character, is much more of a kind of joke than Captain Boomerang is.
Okay. I can feel that. But yeah, in any case, great debut. I'm super excited for this to keep going. Maybe we'll start up Amazing Spider-Man soon.
I think we should.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to get, like, I don't want to drop Miles Morales because I don't want if I'm going to read all of these Spider-Man books, I don't want a million Peter Parker ones and no other ones.
I know.
And I want to read a book about Miles Morales, especially after Spider-Verse. I haven't read this one yet. Maybe it's better than the first one, and I liked the first one, but it wasn't like incredible.
The reason why,
at least not as much as this one and Amazing are. So
the reason why I wanted to drop Miles Morales is because I looked a little forward into what I looked at this list. I was looking at the solicitations for March, and I said, okay, I'm on the fence for this. I should see what they're soliciting for this and see if that's something I'm interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was talking about like him skipping class and like him like having something with the principal and him hiding it from him. And I was like, no. I just didn't find that as fascinating. Like him, like with a bunch of high school drama and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I don't really like that all that much. Like I like that fine if it's peppered in with with some other more serious
but not
things.
As the main focus.
Not as the main, not as the main focus. And it seems like that's what it's going to be. If it's different, then
I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know. If I keep reading it, I'll let you know.
Let me know.
But cool. Any other books that you guys want to talk about? You want to?
I thought Martian Manhunter continues to be good.
Yeah.
What did you think? Okay, actually, I'm interested in what you think, Samantha. You didn't like the jargon on the Martian like planet or whatever.
Right,
this had a lot of Martian planet on it, but I thought there wasn't as much.
It was a lot less jargon, and it was a lot easier to comprehend, and I didn't feel so out of place.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed this one a lot better.
Yeah.
I mean, I did love the alien sex scene from the last one.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
There's another implied alien sex scene in here. They're just.
Really?
I think they go. They go and they she turns him into his regular. They're at this telescope thing in the beginning, and she turns him into his regular form. I don't remember what they call their social form, and I don't remember what their name for their like actual look is. But she like turns him back into his regular self, and he's naked.
Mm-hmm.
And
so maybe that's implied.
I think they imply that they have sex again,
but it's not as voluptuous.
Oh, it's definitely not as graphic. I mean, graphic in quotes, whatever the hell that means. They do go to a brothel.
Oh yeah, they do
in this issue.
Huh.
Yeah,
and they truly bring the meaning of I don't know where your body ends and mine begins.
Oh my god!
I mean, did you? No, I didn't. But yeah, no, I liked this issue a lot. I think
I liked the ending a lot too.
The ending,
I did not expect
that
to happen. Where he's about to spoilers.
It's fine.
No, I was doing your notes. So where he's trying to like erase her memory of what just happened,
yeah, and she just fucking shoots him.
And he doesn't get to do it because she shoots him.
I
thought that was a good
What did
ending.
she shoot out here?
I think she shot bullets.
I think so.
No, but there's something hit the ground here in this last panel. Like she shoots him in the chest, and then there's a panel at the bottom, and it's of some weird organy looking thing hitting the ground, and it goes slurp.
Like his
That's
heart,
what I was wondering. Is it supposed to be his heart?
I think it's supposed to be his heart. It looks kind of like a heart.
Yeah, I guess it's probably supposed to be his heart.
I think she
shot his heart out of his chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to imply that he's dead because the next thing says the death and birth of John Jones.
I'm wondering if that is in reference to
the real John
Jones.
Like
a flashback of him, like how he became John Jones, because they're implying that he was a person before he took over this life.
Yeah, that's totally it. That's totally it, actually.
But maybe it's both. Because if he lost his heart here, that would imply he's dead, but...
I mean, I don't know how Martian physiology works. Also...
Yeah, I have no idea.
It might be the thing that's made to look like his heart because he's in human form. You know what I mean? I don't know how in-depth he's gone.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, but...
But nonetheless, I love how the art works in this series. I had a little reservations when it was first solicited, but I'm super into, like, how it looks, especially on the world building of Mars. Like, I think that's such a cool idea. And I'm glad that the Mars flashbacks aren't just him being shitty.
Yes. Because I was a little worried about that after that first issue, that it was all just going to be him being a dirty cop and just being horribly, like, irredeemable.
Yeah.
But they're doing a good mix here, and I think the balance was a little bit more tipped into his family life in this one in a way that, like, wasn't as grating.
Yeah. Totally.
And so if they continue like balancing that well, I think that works.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And I have just one more thing to say about Justice League. I I hate that this keeps like I was so almost going to drop it this week.
I know.
But I got it and it's good. I like this.
It was very good.
I really liked this issue and it
was good.
I wanted to go one direction. I guess it is going one direction because it was really good. I liked it. But god damn it. I hope it continues like on a good level. It will.
Yeah, I'm liking this storyline.
Yeah, the storyline is very, very interesting.
Especially with, what's his name? Will Payton, I think. I'm really interested to see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm so curious where in the hell that stuff is going.
Yeah.
It's very, very strange still, that whole Will Payton thing. I don't know what it's supposed to, where it's going.
Yeah.
It's a thing that's happening.
I wonder if they're going to go more into, like, him overpowering Superman by being in the presence of him.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting idea, that he's full of star energy. Yeah. So that's solar energy. So Superman gets powered up by him.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Fascinating.
We'll just have to see. Like, yeah.
And
it's good.
I do want to make mention of Prodigy.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I did not like the first issue.
I know that. Yeah, you like this one more?
I really enjoyed it. So the first issue, I thought it was very, like, all about, look what I can do. I can do this. I'm this. I'm this. It was just so, like, it was such a braggy kind of feeling. And I didn't like it, and I didn't want to continue it. And I had Jack read, I think you read this first,
yeah.
So that I could be like, just tell me if I should read it or not. And I was very pleasantly surprised, because they had a little bit of that in one scene where he's talking to like 5 of himself.
Oh yeah, you didn't like that.
It wasn't near as bad as the first one, I think, honestly. And the story is really cool.
I think the difference is, like, the first issue is trying to set up, like, how he is kind of a conceited dickbag. Right. I mean, rightfully so, because he can do literally everything.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think he's supposed to be likable in that first issue.
Right. Yeah.
Like that is
just annoying to me. I didn't want to read it.
Yeah, like it's just not enjoyable for you to see a person being a dick the whole time.
Yeah, like I can get where they're going with that. Like, okay, this person is this way, so obviously there's going to be a change later on that contradicts it. But as a reader, it was a lot, and it was something I didn't want to be around.
Yeah,
yeah. I think they did a good job of like kind of like giving him a challenge in this issue.
Yes.
And like I think it's a really fun kind of like, it's almost this weird mix between like a James Bond type story and like an Indiana Jones thing.
Yeah.
Like where we're globe hopping and we're kind of treasure hunting a little bit, but like it's really interesting. I did find it an interesting decision that he can just, I guess, do magic shit.
Yeah.
What was that again? I forgot about that.
He channeled his chi.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he made this man pass out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, chi is not magic. It, theoretically, people do a lot with Tai Chi.
Yeah.
I mean, the way they showed it in the comic, it was magic.
Yeah.
Visually, it was magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the kind of like, yes, like, there is something to the idea of like chi and meditation and all of that kind of stuff, but this is the kind of like talk about like mystical energy stuff where it's like, look, they can start fires by focusing with their chi, you know, like
You've
it's
never
that
done
kind
that,
of thing.
Doug? I mean, I do that.
I do it all the time. But it's just, I just thought that was I thought it was a fun decision that we're like, okay, if we take that stuff seriously, yeah, like he has learned every skill in the world, and he's learned this skill from these Chinese masters that he can use his chi to make this man forget and pass out.
Yeah.
Anyways, small thing.
It was funny. But I'm really interested to see where these antagonists go, how this like works. Like they were.
Yes.
I mean, and I love the scene because they start us off when we're introducing our villains of this series. Seemingly, we start off looking at these 2 boys who are kidnapped, and they're like, "Oh, I'll look out for you," like because we have the new kid and the kid who's been there for a while.
And you get emotionally attached for the long run, and you think it's for the long run.
Yeah,
and they're just killed,
and they just die. They just get hunted and shot.
One gets killed like straight through the heart.
Straight through the heart.
Just for fun. Like, there's no reason for this as far as I can tell, other than they like hunting children.
Yeah,
but it's great because we know that there's going to be a really cool father-son villain dynamic. going on.
Oh yeah, that was really, really interesting.
He's like, that he's gonna,
but it's like
gonna take over.
Yeah,
wants to take over.
But it's interesting because it's like 3 generations of it. Because like there's the old guy who's in charge, his son who like is almost trying to like do a like a sort of coup without, he's like hoping for his father to fail, and it's very open about it. And then he's like training in his son,
who's psychotic
underneath him. Who, well, I mean, they're all psychotic, but his son is really into this child hunt. God, it's so messed up.
But I'm excited. Like what you say about Mark Millar stuff gets me worried sometimes, and just makes me not want to read Mark Millar stuff. But it's still like really good, enjoyable,
No, that's always the thing. Like it's always a little bit of a balancing act with his stuff, but like when he gets it right, it's really good.
Yeah.
And also I just want to say, like, you haven't read anything with art by Raphael Albuquerque before, but he is one of my favorite comic book artists, and I just think this book is just drop dead gorgeous.
Interesting. I mean, I really like the art. I haven't noticed anything that like really hits me yet, I guess, about art style.
He's an artist that like, I don't know that I thought he was incredible to begin with either, but like as you read more of him and get to know his style, it's a very particular style, and it's always solid. Like there's never a frame that a panel that looks off. It's very stylish. I very much enjoy.
That's really interesting.
He's done. He did American Vampire with Scott Snyder.
I've been wanting to read for almost
it's
the whole
really
time
good.
Comics,
yeah,
so I've been asking.
It's really good. You should read that.
Yes, I want
to. That's also Stephen King and Scott Snyder, isn't it?
Stephen King doesn't co-write the main story, but he does backups in it.
Oh. Are those good too?
He does backup stories about one of the main characters. Yes, they're also good. But he kind of like conceptualized the series with Scott Snyder, but then Scott Snyder writes the main story.
Interesting.
It's a very good book.
Okay. Yeah, I'm super pumped.
And then he also does the art for another Mark Millar series called Huck, which is very, very good.
It's not about Huckleberry Finn, is it?
It is about Huckleberry Finn. It is not about Huckleberry Finn.
I mean, it could be. I mean, they could make a story about Huckleberry Finn. I mean, that'd be kind of problematic, actually, in way more ways.
I don't know that anyone in today's
going to touch that
day and age is going to touch Huckleberry Finn again, unless it was some sort of self-aware thing.
We need a live-action movie of Huckleberry Finn.
You know someone's going to try to make another Huckleberry Finn movie at some point.
Oh, they have to.
Like, they're going to try, and they're going to try to, like, fix it, you know?
It's going to be either terrible or just, like, offensively, like, just offensive in a way of them trying to fix it, honestly, to the work.
Yeah, that stuff's always touchy, you know? Like, even, like, if you scrub it of the racist stuff, like, is that a good thing that you've, like, taken
whitewashed
this,
history,
you've kind of erased you've kind of erased this bit of history that like maybe we shouldn't forget that this story was racist, you know?
But then also actively reminding everybody about it and like having just, you know,
I mean like it's a kind of it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't think, which is why I think people generally a lot of times just avoid that stuff, but
just don't.
Maybe just don't. But anyways, any other books you want to hear about? Either of the new series that I picked up at all, or should we?
Oh wait, did you read both Young Justice and Captain Marvel?
I read it, Young Justice and Captain Marvel. They are both very good debuts. I would say if you were on the fence about either of them, Captain Marvel I think is the stronger one.
Okay,
but I'm very interested to see where Young Justice goes as well.
Interesting. How do you compare the debut of Captain Marvel to like Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man debut?
They're different. Like, I don't know. Captain Marvel is more of a superhero book. Like, there's much more big superhero stuff.
Okay.
But it's a lot more. It's a lot more about the dialogue and the banter, and it's very good. It's like it's very well written. It's very funny.
Yeah.
Tony Stark is like trying to help Carol Danvers like kind of find her place back on Earth now that she's kind of like she's done doing her space alpha flight thing.
Okay.
And she's mentoring a young female character in the Marvel universe who is from a series I really like. Her name is Hazmat. She's radioactive. She's from a series called Avengers Academy that was one of the first comics I read and I really liked. It was about a bunch of new Marvel characters, and she has been gone, like, not in anything for a long time.
Is this book going to be a lot about their mentorship sort of relationship then?
It seems like it's about her mentoring Hazmat. It's about her having a relationship with Rhodey, with James Rhodes, War Machine.
Oh.
It is...
It's Don Cheadle in the movies, by the way.
Although the end of this issue kind of puts them in a... I'm just going to tell you because I feel like I need to sell you on the book. They're in like a like post-apocalyptic alternate universe thing with a bunch of the characters that they set up her relationship with. It looks like she is in this like post-apocalyptic wasteland with Jessica Drew, who is a character called Spider-Woman. I don't know if you've ever read anything with her.
No.
Hazmat. It looks like the MCU version of Valkyrie from Ragnarok.
Like Tessa Thompson?
Yeah, who they like brought into what was that book? Exiles?
Exiles, yeah.
And I think this is maybe supposed to be Loki. I'm not sure about this other guy, but
interesting.
Anyways, it's a hard book to pitch, but I just really like the writing in it. Like, I'm not sure it's like it takes a very big left turn in terms of the story at the end with the post-apocalyptic stuff, so it's hard to like kind of like pitch you what this book is going to be until I read the next issue. But I thought it was a very well written. Like I liked how Carol Danvers was written in this.
Okay,
because we love the Life of Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
I thought that was
the Life of Captain Marvel just ended. Yeah, it was great.
The little preamble in like not previously on thing. Well, sort of. It's sort of like a previously in thing on like the title page mentions some stuff that I assume happened in Life of Captain Marvel.
With like her
about
mom
like
and stuff?
About like a Kree assassin attacked her family home and killed her mother. Yeah. Who she's secretly been.
Yeah, exactly. It was a whole thing. It was great. Yeah, I mean, I think that I'd be more interested in this after reading that because I loved it. I thought it was great. I don't know. I liked it when I looked through the art. I thought the art looks really like. I mean, I think it's great.
Well, the art's great. Yeah, I like the art in this a lot more than I liked in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is fine.
Serviceable.
Yeah. It looks fine.
No.
It didn't look great.
Yeah.
But it would look fine.
I don't know. We'll see about Captain Marvel. We'll see about it. I'm going to wait for your word.
I know. Yeah. There's too many damn books I shouldn't have picked up. Like, I shouldn't have picked up like 2 or 3 new series this week.
And then we also have coming out in 2 weeks.
And Doug has to catch up with Oblivion Song.
Oh, and Doug, I gave you that book. Have you read any of it yet? Oblivion Song, Volume 1?
It's so great. You gotta do it.
I have not. I have not yet. Nope. Sorry.
I know. You gotta.
But there's so many books. Do I gotta? Like, I know I want to read
Black
it.
Widow by Soska is something I really want to look up and get. Really? Have you read anything by Soska? I don't even know anything about that. I just wanted to read the Black Widow story.
No. Nope. I have not. I have not read anything by that person, and there's so many new books.
I know.
Coming out.
I'll choose to do that.
I've got a bunch of stuff just in January, like that I still want to pick up, and so I don't think I can.
I got you. But yeah, we also have like Invaders. I think is this month, or maybe that's next month. I don't know. But we also have. I don't know. There's so much coming out. So
yeah, Invaders is next week.
Oh, jeez.
We've also got, next week is a Justice League Dark week. It's a Superman week. Mm-hmm. The Magic Order, it's the finale.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's issue 6.
Okay.
Yeah, very excited for that. 2 weeks until Guardians.
Ugh. God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It gets hard. You accumulate books over time, and it gets really hard to pare it down. You have to start being really harsh.
Also this week we got, since it was only $10, this book called Bedlam at the store by Who was it by? It's Nick Spencer,
and
Riley Rossmo.
Riley Rossmo, who is the artist on Martian Manhunter. And Nick Spencer is the writer of Amazing Spider-Man currently. So...
and then covers by Fraser Irving.
Yes.
Which is great.
They're very good covers.
You said you hadn't read that?
I have. I have not read the whole thing. I don't recall how long... is what you have the whole thing? Or is it like book one?
It has a 1 on it.
Okay, so
but it looks like a pretty big book.
Okay. I don't recall how long it went for, but I know I didn't read the whole thing, however long it went for. And I remember liking it, but I fell off I dropped it for some reason. I don't recall why. I think it just had too many books. But
okay.
I know I liked. I mean, Riley Rossmo's art is great. And I would have a different appreciation for it now that I like Nick Spencer a bit more. So I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know. Let me know what you think.
I will. We will. But yeah, I think we talked a little bit about next week. Do we have anything else next week that you're aware of?
Not a ton. There's like, let's see, what else is on the 16th?
I'm excited next week because I have my first new issue of Isola, because I read that first volume and this is the first paperback issue that I'm going to be able to get. Oh, it's so pretty. We have Gideon Falls, Freedom Fighters, Detective Comics.
Oh, is Freedom Fighters coming out in this next week?
That's what I have, at least.
Didn't it just come out?
My app is all over the place.
No, it came out like a month ago. It came out before the holidays. So the holidays make everything seem like...
Oh, I think because I left it at home and
exactly.
read it when we came back.
Exactly.
Okay. Wow, it feels like I just...
I have a new Baby Teeth and the Bat Who Laughs.
Ugh.
I'll tell you about the Bat Who Laughs if it's...
Yeah, you continue to just tell me about it because I can't. It is a mental hurdle I cannot get over.
Baby Teeth is so good.
I'm so excited for Baby Teeth. We've been away from that for a while.
Baby Teeth, despite me not reading it, made it into our top 10 comics of the year, so it must have been good.
Well, to give you a little bit how good it is, my mother loves it and my cousin loves it, so we're getting people to really like it.
Neither of them read comics at all.
Yeah. So it's a great one to introduce to people.
It's fantastic. Also, I don't know if you wanted to talk about, what is it? Speaking of Detective Comics, last issue of Detective Comics, you were not into the covers.
Yeah.
Do you want to just really quickly go over your problem with that sort of style?
So, yeah, I wasn't super into the cover because it gave me the idea, like, that Alfred's gonna get fucked up in some way. So the whole issue, I'm just waiting for that to happen. And I kind of wish...
I mean, he did.
Yeah, no, but I wish I didn't know that, so that it would have been like, oh, he just got stabbed. Instead, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what they're showing on the cover.
Yeah.
So...
I don't know. I
feel like it was...
Comic covers can give away bits of books in ways that are sometimes frustrating.
Yeah,
but...
so that kind of frustrated me. And I've noticed some other comics do that. And sometimes it's fine, and other times it's like, why did you show me that happened? You know, now the big reveal is I know what it is.
Yeah. Fair. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Did Jack explain the thing with the Heroes in Crisis cover that we are wondering if it is connected to?
Jack, did you explain?
Yeah.
Sorry, he just let Teddy in.
Jack, did you, we were talking about the cover of Detective Comics.
Yeah.
As a side note, I was asking if...
Oh, I did.
If you explained the connection, the possible connection to the Heroes in Crisis cover that was canceled.
Well, we were talking about Heroes in Crisis. Samantha wasn't as bothered by the weird sexual stuff also. I mean, I get it, I guess. I didn't really get it, but I don't know if I told you. So you know how he was making a Z with his hands? And I was telling you about, like, the Zorro,
yeah,
that was what it was. So it also seems like it's related to, like...
It might not be, but it seems weirdly pointed.
There's this huge controversy, about this theoretical cover that was released, for Heroes in Crisis, where Poison Ivy was... lying on the floor, bleeding, lying naked on the floor. What's that song? Torn.
Torn.
Okay. You know that song, Doug?
Lying naked on the floor.
Yes.
So she was...
I am aware.
Lying naked on the floor. Poison Ivy wasn't quite naked, but she was super sexually drawn, and she was bleeding, and she had, seemingly in her blood, made the same pattern Like a Z, like that. So we were wondering if it was like a comment on that whole controversy, or if it was just like
a coincidence,
or maybe it's something they're building towards. I don't know.
But but it's extra weird because that cover was canned because it got a big backlash online, and Tom King, like we talked about it on previous episodes. We don't need to get super into it, but like it was canceled, and they put a different cover on the issue. Mm-hmm. But it was just very specifically similar to it in a way, in like that it was like he had been injured or possibly dead on that cover, and it's like he's drawing this Z or S figure on the ground in his blood. Strangely similar.
Yeah. But also, I was saying about her thing with the covers giving stuff away. It's kind of a historic thing, like having a comic be like have like a huge like sort of thing happen. So that because like back in the day they had to convince people to like read them more, and they were like, oh, you know, Superman's gonna die here or something like that.
Oh, I mean, it's a publicity thing. Like it's a comic covers in a lot of ways in the comic shop are their own marketing. You know, they're all billboards for themselves. Yeah. You know, like you get. In a lot of cases, you get people to pick up those books because, like, oh, what's going to happen to Alfred? I need to know.
Yeah.
Like, whereas, like, a more generic just image of Batman or whatever, or it's just something unrelated, like, might not get that same kind of shock value. And it is disappointing that it spoils something, but, like, yeah, it's all very much dictated by they need sales for the book to continue.
Yeah.
That can be frustrating sometimes.
Well, I was also thinking, like, what if they're trying to do more of a classic style for, like, going into the build-up to Detective Comics 1000 is what I meant. Like, do they have more, like styles like that in older books like that, Action Comics and Detective Comics, because of their relationship to the old days of comics?
I don't think that this is necessarily anything different. Those covers have been, like, they're not an infrequent thing these days. Like, that isn't like a strange change of pace from how a lot of covers in like straight up superhero books are done nowadays. Like, I think it was just another one of those. It didn't seem like out of place to me in a way that was like they're doing something different.
Okay. Well, what can you do? I think that's about all we got.
Okay. Cool. That's going to do it for this week. If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. The absolute biggest thing you can do for us as a podcast, if you like the show, is please give us a review or star rating on iTunes. If you like the show, let someone know about us. Just, you know, like, hide in like a sewer and just kind of like look out from the grate and just like...
You're not going to do my pun.
Hey kid, you want to listen to a podcast and hold like an earbud out from the sewer grate, and then when they put it in, then you get them. Better yet, subscribe to the podcast feed and never even have to think about
it. You can do that on a whole host of podcast apps, like iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Overcast, Google Play Music, Spotify, everything. Sorry, got really fast. So yes. Whichever one you prefer, we've got you. What do you got? What?
Me?
No, Samantha.
We've got you covered.
Thank you.
Wow. I was held in such suspense.
I know, it was the anticipation. In the meantime, for the next episode, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook under the handle @ComicsCovered. You can also find web archives of all our episodes at comicscovered.libsyn.com and on our YouTube channel. And we have video versions of our shows on Facebook as well. I got to change some of this. You know, the whole Facebook thing. Like, we do have it on Facebook. We can just, you know, make this a little streamlined. But in case, check that out, please. It's fun. We're fun. We're fun people. And if you want to get a hold of us with a question or feedback, send us a message on Facebook or Twitter, or at our email, comicscovered@gmail.com. Thank you all again for listening.
Thank you.
Ooh. I'm Jack.
Thank you. I'm Doug.
I'm Sam.
Ooh. What has it been, Samantha? What has it been? What have you been doing?
This has been Comics Covered.
Hey!
Hey.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks
Cheerio,
for listening.
folks.